I have a request to do a cleaning video on this Sig P226. I already have a video on lubricating it, so this video is going to be very similar to that, but somebody wants to see me clean it and see how I clean it. Now what I do has worked for me for many years. I have Hoppy's gun solvent. This is a very small container. I prefer the larger container, and I just have standard Hoppy's gun oil, and then I also use Hoppy's gun grease for the rails. Now these are all the patches I have right now. These are circular patches. I prefer the square patches. I think they work better. Just a rod and a thing for the patch. I have two brushes right here. This one's really stiff, and when it comes to brushes for the barrel, I only use nylon. I don't like to use copper, so I just like to use a really strong nylon. And then I really don't use this part of the brush. For this one I use this to get in areas I can't really reach. And just a standard cleaning brush that comes in like an M16 cleaning kit. Okay, and get a cloth or an old t-shirt and cut it up. Now what I do is obviously make sure it's unloaded. Okay, we're good. And I do clean my magazines, but I don't clean them after every time I shoot them. I'll clean magazines after maybe 1,000 rounds or so. Now I only have about a little bit over 100 rounds through this, so it's not super dirty, but it does need cleaned. So just take it apart like you normally would. Okay. Now what I like to do is I like to get the cloth and just wipe all the parts down first to get the carbon or any loose residue. Okay, that's the first thing I do. And after I wipe everything down, then I will hit it with solvent. Just get inside the slide. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just get all the big stuff out. Okay. And the frame, just wipe all that old grease off. Okay. Now I like to get this brush right here. I get my Hoppies, and like I said, I like the bigger bottle better. The opening on this one's really small and it's kind of hard to use. Just get this brush in there. Like that. And then just get inside of the slide. Get the rails right here, or the groove that goes on the rail for the frame. And then pretty much you just let it sit for maybe a few minutes or so to let the solvent really eat at the residue. Then you got the barrel. This is a really tight brush. Jeez. I actually think this brush might be for a 40 caliber, so that's why it's real tight. But I'm just going to use this brush for now. Let that soak. Get your recoil rod. And then solvent all over the frame. Alright. And then just get this brush. And just get the rails. And get any of the internals that you see that's dirty, like the hammer. And then you can get the brush right here. The bristles are a little bit more strong, and you can really brush it. And this cleaning right here is not like a really, I'm not going to get this gun perfectly clean because I am going to shoot it again. This is just to clean it, to properly maintain it. And make sure you brush right here where the firing pin comes out. Get that pretty good. And I mean, really, that's pretty much it. If you want to, you could brush off the recoil spring. You could brush off the outside of the barrel and just let that solvent remove anything that you missed. And pretty much just let the solvent work at the residue and all that, and pretty much just wipe it down and lubricate it. So what I'll do is I'll just get my cloth here, wipe all the parts off, get that solvent off. And like I said, it doesn't have to be like, perfect. All we're doing is maintaining the weapon. That's it. In reality, this gun really didn't even need to be cleaned, but somebody wanted to see a video of me cleaning it, so just showing you how I do it. And depending on how I feel, I'll spend more time cleaning it. Other times I'll just clean it just to get it good enough so that I'm properly maintaining it. You know what I mean? And then obviously you want to clean the barrel, so just get some patches. And again, I'm not gonna run patches through the barrel until they're perfectly clean. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna get the big stuff out of there. You can see, I mean, it's dirty, but it's not like terrible. There's been times where I've cleaned my pistols and they came out like jet black. Now this is more of a gray. Make sure you get the chamber pretty good. And I'm thinking about buying some steel-cased Wolf ammunition, 9mm, and also some Wolf 223 for my AR-15, just for shooting for fun. I'm going to start saving my brass. It's just very expensive, so I'm going to start training and practicing with steel case ammo. I don't know how much dirtier it is. Now I'm going to get non-corrosive, obviously, but I don't know how dirty it is. And right there, to me, that's clean. That's good enough. So now what I'll do is I'll get one more patch and get some oil. Just a dot, a dot, a dot, and a dot. Just run it through the barrel. and you can see the oil picked up a little bit more residue. Okay, so pretty much got all the parts. I got the solvent off most of the parts. Looks pretty good. So what I'll do now is I'll oil it and grease it. Start with the barrel. Just get a dot of oil on your finger and just rub it in. And you don't want to over oil it. Just get it enough so it's lubricated. You don't gotta go crazy. Alright, barrel's good. Then I'll get my recoil guide rod, just coat it. Recoil spring, just coat it lightly. And then the inside of the slide, just put a dot there and a dot here. And just rub it in. And then the frame, you really don't got to put oil on the frame. I like to put grease on the rails and on the hammer. So I'm just going to leave the frame like that. I'm pretty much done with the oil right now. Okay. And then I get my grease. And this doesn't take much. Just get a little dot. Get the frame. Put a dot here. A dot here. And then the same for this side. A dot and a dot. And then get a little bit of excess grease and get the top right here. Top of the rail. Okay. Maybe a little bit back here too. Just a little bit. And then get some grease on the hammer. And then you want to get some grease on the slide, on the tracks that ride on the rail. A dot. And one more place I like to put grease is right here on the slide. Right here. So, just a little bit. Okay. And there you go. Then I just reassemble it, and that's pretty much it. Now with a handgun like this, and the type of ammunition that I use, depending on how dirty it gets, I mean, I could go 300 rounds without cleaning it, you know what I mean? So, put the barrel in. And you can see some of the grease got pushed out. Just take it and put it right back. And then a little bit more will come out, and you can just get rid of it. Just cycle it a few times to spread around. Oh, whoops. I forgot to lock it in. Alright, there we go. Just spread the lubrication around. And there you go. It's pretty much how I maintain my pistols, you know, just to keep them clean. And there you go. Got a Sig Sauer ready to shoot. Alright, Merry Christmas.